Okay, go ahead. Yep.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? This is just last now.
What's going on, YouTube? I am officially 6 weeks out now, and I didn't really know what to talk about for this video, so I posted a Facebook status and asked what you'd want to see or hear about. I got a lot of people asking about an at-home or do anywhere workout, and I promise I will do that for next week, but for now I do have some workout footage that I wanted to play, so I was kind of just gonna do something that I can voice over. So I did get a lot of questions about how you know how much protein or carbs to have per day, and how you know for your body what you should be eating in terms of macros. So I'm going to start off by saying that I just recently started tracking my macros when I started competition prep, and it's made things a lot easier for me. I use the app MyFitnessPal. I'm going to put a link to that below, a link to my video that I made about that app below, because it'll completely explain how to use the app, and it's so super helpful. It's a free app, and if you watch that video that I made, it'll tell you how to set up a profile. So right now, my current macros are 120 grams of protein, 230 grams of carbs, and 62 grams of fat. I try to stay at or above for the protein because I'm working out a lot and I need a lot more protein, and I'm trying to stay below for the carbs and fat just because of the competition prep. But I'm also monitoring sodium intake and noticing what my sodium amount is when I feel more bloated or full, because that's most times the cause. And I'm also watching the sugar, making sure that doesn't go over the amount that I'm supposed to be having. So right now, people asked about amounts. Now, this is going to vary depending on your specific goals, but in general, I like to follow the rule 4 ounces, 4 ounces, 4 ounces. So, for example, for lunch, I'll have 4 ounces of chicken, 4 ounces of veggies, and 4 ounces of a carb like potatoes or rice. But for dinner, my plan just changed that now I'm having 6 to 8 ounces of a protein and 6 to 8 ounces of a veggie, and I'm cutting carbs at night. But that's just for this competition prep. I think in general, it's smart to do the 4-4-4 as a girl for lunch and dinner. For boys, I would say maybe stick to 6 to 8 for proteins, carbs, fats. But once again, you will get the most out of this by using an app like MyFitnessPal, or just finding out how much your body needs and then dividing your meals up that way, because everyone's different. You're not going to have the exact same macronutrient needs that I do. If you wanted to see just typical things I buy, I also have my previous video was the grocery haul. I'll also link that below. So, a couple easy tips to stay on track. Get containers. Amazon has them for super cheap, big packs of containers. Meal prep, pick a day of the week, say it's Sunday. I need no more than 2 hours to meal prep. If you strategically plan and you know exactly what you're going to make and how much you're going to make of it, you don't need more time than that. Buy in bulk and cook all your chicken, all your veggies, all your potatoes, and have your containers ready. If it's in your container in individual portions and it's ready to go, you're more likely to eat it and you're more likely to stay on track. Get a food scale, Amazon or Walmart. I got mine for $7. They're super cheap and they're so helpful. So easy. Just put your container on there, zero out the scale, put your food in, and you have your amount that you need. And it's so easy. It'll just become second nature. Like at first I was like, oh, this is going to be so annoying, but now I just it's just easy to do. And if you make all that food, you're not going to let it go to waste in your fridge. You're going to eat it because it's already there and you already made it. So from there, we're going to break down proteins, carbs, and fats. More about that. So I got a lot of this information, just backing it up, on bodybuilding.com, so I will link that below. So starting with proteins. Other than water, protein is the most abundant nutrient in the body, and it's made up of linked units called amino acids. So these amino acids, they're absorbed in the small intestines, they're rearranged, put back in the bloodstream as newly arranged proteins, and these carry out the functions for our life. Protein contains 4 calories per gram, and that provides you 4 calories per gram of energy. So 3 things the body can do with protein: put it in fat stores, use it as an energy source, or use it to carry out functions vital to life. So the calories from protein will be used as energy when the body is lacking fat or carbs for fuel. So when the body gets enough of protein, fat, and carbs, protein will carry out its specific functions that it is supposed to do. But when you fast your body without proper protein intake, it'll slowly start to shut down. So that's why you want to make sure you're getting the correct amounts, and your metabolism can slow because of this. And you want to make sure that you're not only getting the right amount, but the right types. So to conclude about proteins, you should eat no less than your body weight in grams of protein as a general rule. So the right amount of protein for you is going to depend on many factors, including your activity level, your muscle mass, your goals in terms of your physique, and your current state of health. So there's a lot of ways you can calculate this, like calculators online. I'm going to put a link to the one from bodybuilding.com in the description below. It's super easy to use. And yeah, so general rule, body weight in grams, 4 grams of protein. Moving on to carbs. Everyone thinks carbs are so bad. There are 2 types of carbs: simple and complex. You should not cut carbs from your diet, because I barely ate carbs for the longest time, and when I started eating carbs again was when I started seeing abs. So don't think carbs are bad. So all carbs deliver 4 calories per gram of energy, just like protein. So the 2 types, complex and simple. Complex carbs are things like bread, pasta, and cereal, which are digested more slowly than simple carbs. So this slower digestion gives a more continual and stable flow of energy. Simple carbs do this more quickly, the deliverance of that energy. So they provide a big burst of energy, and that also increases your blood sugar. This wears off quickly though, and more is needed to sustain the blood sugar levels. This is why you get food cravings, and calorie consumption can be increased more when you eat these simple carbs. So they should probably be avoided if you can. They include sugar, honey, soda, candy. So sugar and carbs are broken down into glucose, and all cells in your body depend on this glucose. So this makes carbs the body's #1 energy source, and that is what the brain and nervous system run off of directly. So the human body converts protein to glucose without enough carbs. So that's why if you're cutting carbs and you're gaining weight, maybe that's why you're not sustaining what you need to carry out the functions that you're trying to carry out. So carbs also offer a thermogenic effect, so this will increase your calorie burning. So carbs should typically make up 50 to 60% of your diet, and that should come mainly from complex carbs. So bread's made from whole grains, fruits that are raw, and raw vegetables. They're all a great source of carbs. And if you want to do like carb substitutes, if you're trying to like cut down a little on carbs, which I don't think you should eliminate them completely, but just something like swapping out pasta for spaghetti squash or butternut squash for sweet potatoes, that's an easy swap. Just things like that. All right, third thing, fats. So lipids are the scientific term for fats, and they have over twice as many calories per gram as carbs or protein. They have 9 calories per gram. So they offer a great energy source. Are saturated and unsaturated fats. Saturated fats are things that are solid at room temperature, and these are things like coconut, palm oil, and basically they're kind of worse. They can lead to heart disease if they're consumed in excess. Unsaturated fats are found in oils and plants. So these stay a liquid at room temperature, and they're essential. They're the essential fats that your body needs. So the unsaturated fats are the better fats. So fat is the last nutrient to digest and leave the stomach. It supplies a delayed feeling of satisfaction after eating, which is why you tend to consume more of it. Emulsification, or the breakdown of fats, is what occurs. That's the process. And once the fat is absorbed in your bloodstream, it can be stored and carry out specific functions. So it takes a little longer, which, like I said, why people tend to overeat fat. So in conclusion, fat should make up less than 30% of your daily calories, depending on your energy levels, your speed of digestion personally, and just basically your overall body goals. So, in conclusion, I hope this was informative. I hope you guys learned a lot from this, and I'm putting the links below, like I said, to bodybuilding.com, where I got a lot of secondary information and the calculator for the protein intake. I will link to my MyFitnessPal video and my grocery haul video, and I hope that this was very informative and helpful, and you guys gained something from this. Comment below if you have any questions. And I will see you next week with the Do Anywhere workout for 5 weeks out. Thank you guys for watching.